It's glad to have you on another edition of the program, Focus Live, right here on OGTV, the People's Daily. I am Dominic Agbeha saying welcome on this week's edition of the program. Feels good to be here again. Feels good to know that you are over there on the other side of the TV set. And yes, we are all set to fire on every cylinder as far as today's edition is concerned. And what else are we going to be discussing? But I mean, none other than what is really the rave of the moment, and that is the celebration of democracy in Nigeria. It's been 25 years of unbroken democratic rule in Nigeria. Yes, don't forget, in 1999, the military handed over to the democratically elected president, the then Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And since 1999, we have actually been having a democratic rule. And so it's been yes, we've been having transitions from one democratically elected government to the other. From Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, we had Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who actually passed on, unfortunately, before the end of his tenure as president. And then we had President Goodluck Jonathan. And then from President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015, we also had President Muhammadu Buhari, who also spent 8 years on the saddle as president of the country. And then after President Muhammadu Buhari, his tenure expired last year, 2023, and then we now have another democratically elected president. And then when you calculate all of these, you discover that it's 25 years. So we are going to be looking at how we have fared, really, 25 years after, or I mean, in democracy. Have we been enjoying the dividends of democracy? These and many more we are going to be looking at in the next couple of minutes, and I've been joined by a public affairs analyst who will be doing justice to the topic. I have Honorable LANRE JAJI. It's a pleasure having you in the studio with us.
Good afternoon, Dominic. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
We are also expecting another guest, Barrister HABEEB White, to be precise, a legal practitioner. And so as soon as he joins the conversation, we are going to, as soon as he joins us, we are going to be bringing him on to the conversation. But let us look at it. Let us start from the beginning, really. How would you assess Nigeria's democratic experience? It's been 25 years. Do you think we have fared well? The dividends of democracy, do you think Nigerians have been enjoying the dividends of democracy?
Well, in the first place, let us thank God for the life that He has given us and the opportunity for us to continue discussing democracy in Nigeria for the past 25 years. Yes, we've had it. We had the military rule before we now transited to the civilian rule. And we had our Papa Obasanjo, who took over reign then, and each successive government have been trying the little they can be able to do, but it's quite unfortunate that we always compare government, one administration to the other. It's been long that a lot of people have been saying things are not easy in Nigeria. That 25 years ago, some people were saying things are hard, things are not easy, and unfortunately, when we get to another government, they will say, that previous government was even better than the one that we're having now. And we get another one, it has been like that. And because we never had any interruption, one would have expected a lot of things, to have been put in place so that I would make people to really say, okay, they are really enjoying democracy, because in a military rule, you don't contest anything with them. It is what they want to say, they want to do, that they will do. But in a civilian government, we have the houses of assembly, the Senate, the reps in place that will discuss, solutions to problems, pass bills in conjunction with the executives, executing, projects. And it gives an opportunity to people to even say, okay, I think in our area, what we needed now is an health center. What we needed here now is pipe-borne water and things like that. But compared to what used to happen in the military rule, it is what they have on ground in their ideas or in their areas of focus that they want to do. Yes, we don't say we have really done badly. We'll just continue to be thankful to God and say that, well, we are faring well. The most, happiest thing about it is that the processes never gone, truncated. It was not interrupted. So we were supposed to be, emphasizing and clamoring on that and using that as an opportunity to continue to, get more dividend of democracy for our people.
Now, when you hear Nigerians, because a lot of times we are fast, really, as Nigerians, to compare Nigeria's democracy with notable democracies in the world. Big democracies in the world, the US, the UK, India, other notable democracies like that. When you hear Nigerians compare our democracies with them, do you think it's a fair comparison, really? Because some of these people have been there or have been practicing democracy for centuries.
Yes.
And here we are, just 25 years.
Yes, I think we cannot compare with them. Although they too had their own itches, they had their own ups and downs when they were also growing, as we too we are now having. Because, like I said, we kept on and we shall continue to compare one administration to the other. By the time Baba Ahmed Tinubu leaves office, we are likely to start comparing his own government too, as we've been comparing it with that of Muhammadu Buhari, with Jonathan, etc., etc. But when you're talking about international communities that have been so much well democratized, they've really achieved a lot, and we cannot compare their own achievement with what we have achieved in 25 years. I must confess to you, because this is not a country that one should be thinking that electricity should still be our problem, food insecurity should still be our problem, even security itself should still be our problem. One would have expected a lot of successive governments to have, taken care of all these areas, improve on all these, up till now. We have countries that uses drones to protect, uses CCTV camera everywhere so that they can, be able to monitor what is happening in their domain very well. One would have expected too, for Nigeria to have really focused when we had the opportunity to have really focused. There was a time we had oil booms during this democratic era too. One would have expected us to have really emphasized on, things like agriculture, basing majorly on agriculture, and so that all these, complaints that we are having, because I must confess to you now, people are complaining of hunger now. We were supposed to have really put a lot of machineries in place that will have had a lot of, food storages, food silos, a lot of things. So we are not supposed to, we are not really there, Dominic. We are not really there. We are getting there, but it's better we start now, today, so that we can be able to get there in time.
Now, talking about some of these challenges, you have been able to enumerate some of them, and whether we like it or not, these are some of the things that, these are, looking at some of these indices, really, there are ways that we can know whether our democracy is thriving or not. You talked about healthcare, you talked about education, you talked about agriculture, you talked about electricity, power, which is actually germane to industrialization. Now, when you look at all of these, Nigeria is not really there yet, as a matter of fact. Now, would you say that our inability to have really scored so high in all of these areas is as a result of the democracy that we are practicing? Because some persons have actually said that the democracy we are practicing is not our own, as a matter of fact. We went to borrow it from the likes of the United States and UK and the rest of them. So it's alien to us, as a matter of fact. And so we should actually be thinking of Africanizing, Africanizing our own democracy, coming to, okay. But before I take your thoughts on that, let us go on this break. When we come back, the program Focus Life will continue. Do not go anywhere.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree. We swear in colors, we stand back in deeper. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. There's a destination, we are more than destination. We are Nigeria, we are Nigeria, strength and unity. We know the coming life. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Focus Live it is the no-holds-barred conversation where we look at issues affecting us in the society. And yes, our focus this afternoon is on Nigeria's democracy, the prospects and challenges. I told you earlier on that we are expecting another guest. Of course, he has gladly joined us on the set. He is no other than Barrister Abeebu White. It's a pleasure having you in the studio with us.
Thank you very much, Dominic.
Now, before I come to you, let me take you up on the question I was asking before that break. Do you think really part of our problem is the fact that we have borrowed this democracy that we are practicing, and that we have not been able to tweak it really to suit our context, our own peculiarities?
Yes, I think that is what is happening. I mean, it would have been better if we had, probably, taken our own peculiarities into consideration. I mean, as a country, what are the things that we think, we needed to do, we needed to put in place compared to borrowing a democratic system of government. Now you can hear people saying that we should restructure. And we were restructured. In Ghana those days, we had regional government in place, and things were going on very well until some people came and said, okay, we just have to empower the federation unit, which is really giving us problem, and we need to still look at how we can get it better and do it better in our own better way as Nigerians, as a country, because we cannot continue to say, okay, we have to start we're copying the democratic system of another country. Whereas, take for instance, even those people that we are even copying, are they really giving the type of emolument they are giving, to their legislators? Are they really giving, the kind of, do they have bicameral legislation that we have? Despite that we are copying them, we are even, overblowing our own, which is really affecting our economy, because I must confess to you, a lot of things really needs to really be, put in place and checked so that we can get better.
Now, let me come to you, Barrister White, and take your thoughts, really. He has told us his own assessment of Nigeria's democratic, 25 years of democratic journey. I want to take yours through how would you assess Nigeria's 25 years of democratic experience, unbroken?
Yes, thank you very much, Dominic. I would want to say first that I think our peculiarities, our ways of doing things, and our manners or mannerism to which we do things politically is far away from what democracy is about. The major problem that I have with our type of democracy is that it's one that does not allow people to thrive, except they have somebody helping them in one way or the other. And you see, democracy is going to be people, by the people, and for the people. If there's one thing that is common, what's common is the willingness of the people to do a particular thing. It's the ability for the people to decide what is going to happen, not for that to decide for them. And if you look at it in another manner, I would say ours is a developing one. You cannot compare our years to those that give us the system. and cannot compare their own peculiarities to what is obtainable here. Look at most democratic states. You don't have bicameralism means of legislative processes. But we have here, why do we have it? We have because of our indigenous states, of our homogeneous nature of our people, the tribal differences. Just to cut across, it's expensive for us to run. Before now,
And they
we
serve as
had a system of government,
job for the boys, or food for the boys.
and we had a system that we use. And what is mostly prominent in our ethnic backgrounds then was this monarchical system of government. You have a king, you have his chiefs, you do everything in a democratic way. Democracy came. It turned our case to just mere feudal lords. And politicians are taking over. It is not a bad idea. Yes, we are growing. Freedom of association, right to life, the building of democracy that we are fighting for is fundamental human rights. The question is, can't we have our fundamental human rights protected under some other aspect of governance?
Side democracy.
From democracy. It can. But the picture of the problem is that, military government, no democracy, the another regime thing, that's where it should be. But the question is, are we getting it right? Where are we coming from? Where are we going to? Where we are coming from, we had elders that have seen the future, that have said, no, we have to fight for this independence. They came on board. They spent their money, their time, even their life for some people to take over. When they took over, we had military incursion. We had the issue of the Yorubas, Hausas, and the Igbos. Let's go and kill our leaders. The stories will give you that the Igbos did not kill their own leader, the Hausas did not kill their, they killed that, they killed this. No, there are things that are shaping the way we do our things, our leadership system. We came in, we wanted a democracy. Now, we had military men now turning politicians. What do you expect? Look at our Nigerian constitution. We are still agreeing, even as lawyers, that this constitution is not for us. And tell you, we, the people of Nigeria, I say no. It's a broad law. Our constitution is born from India. Ask anybody. Fundamental right on the objective and policy of government. It's born from India. Our military system are born from other countries. But we still don't have that law that talks about us. That says this way we do things, let us have it. We almost had it in 1963 when we were JAJI, where the judges were going at their own pace. There were issues, constitutional issues, as to why they were sitting much to the center. It means that one ethnic group is now going above another ethnic group, where we're meant to be harnessing all the potentials and building a nation. So our democracy or our politics is not democratic in its real sense because of our ethnic attachment and sentiment to leadership in this country. That's the problem we have. To me, our democracy is okay, we're doing fine. But let us remove that bigotness, that bigotry. Let's remove it. Let me see an Hausa man with intelligence. This man can be my president. Let me vote for him on that basis of competence. That is not about is Yoruba, is Igbo, is it? That is what is killing our democracy. My submission. Thank you.
Now, where you have actually ended, I mean, it's also, something that I intended I intend to raise in the course of the conversation, and definitely we will get there. And I mean, because we cannot be talking about democracy, and we will not touch on ethnicity and our religious biases actually impacted on the kind of democracy that we practice. But let me come back to you. So would you say that the military incursions that we've had, because at some point, in 1960 we had democracy, 1966. So would you say that this military incursion at different points in time
Yes, the economy was strong. Nigeria was a force to reckon with. That's when we were giant of Africa. Yes, everybody feared us. But when we had this question, it has been like that, but things can get better. How will they get better? That now we all must be involved, because we are good at saying that one dream, just leave them. It's democracy. We're not getting involved. Look at what we had in our last election. It was a tug of war. 12 states. Each candidate is unprecedented. We had a bulk of new voters. So it means that these people have been deciding the fate of Nigeria before. They are not even up to 10% of Nigerians. That was the meaning. Take our state for example. How many voters do we have? How many are voting in Ogun State? The last election we had before this one, the election was that just 20% of Ogun State had one deciding who will be the government. And now you start using this not doing well. He's doing it. Did you vote for him? When everyone was campaigning, did you ask questions? But I think our new incursions or our new ploy to be involved should not be mirrored with another thing entirely. It's our problem. Do things accordingly, rightly. You want to be like the rest of America, United Kingdom, you want to be like them, but in their country you obey laws. In your own country you don't obey laws because it's a democratic government. Now when you hear doing military government in their country, when you hear you disrespect government officials, the police, the army, the customs, you drove into them because you feel you have right to do anything you want to do. And in other countries you start serving that big as if they are gods. Now when you hear our problem, we don't respect laws and regulations. When you hear Nigerians make comparison between our democracy and the democracies of these big countries, what does that make you feel? Do you think it's a fair comparison, really? It is not. It's a bad comparison. Because we are not making our own to work out. We go to the place and make our own to work out. Here, you have to stay, over there you have to respect traffic light. Before you get home, you get a ticket. But here, even the policeman that is trying to just stop you, you want to just take him off the street because of what? You are affronting your right. If you are seeking for a better government or better governance, we must start doing the right thing. As I said, governance begins from us. What we're doing here is about governance. It's about outside to be better. If you don't do it well, you tell on others. Definitely. So we are our own problem, not our politicians. We are all politicians. Whether you like it or not, whether you are voting or you are not voting. Affect you. It might be at a place of work. It might be on your street. It might be your community. It might be your school. So we all are involved. And we have our roles to play. Our roles to play. Don't sit back and stop complaining, stop abusing people. Come out and do the right thing. Somebody asked me last week that how can we as youths, how can we even take over the dominance of democracy in Nigeria? I told the person that how many of your friends are card-carrying member of any political party? One party. Because you know they will share something and when you vote they will give you. Are you participating in those world meetings and everything? When they want to do their primaries, are the youths involved then? They only involved after they finish primaries because now this time is there, let me support this person. Why can't you people bring one youth to their party? See, youth can take over any party in this country at this moment. You have the numbers. And just think, if I lead 100 youths from Ogun State now to any party in Ogun State, want to be a member, the party will welcome us. They'll give us our card and everything. Now we start getting involved. Before we do one thing in that party, they will involve us in one way or the other. They don't go, but all these people that you brought out to me, that is how we can get involved. But now we don't get involved. After primaries, we now say, who is the party, who is the candidate for Labour Party or APC for PDP? Okay, we follow this one. We never knew how it got on board. So we need to infiltrate positively in those numbers. Let us come and participate. Let us take it so that we can determine. Let's have the youth as party chairman. Yes, let's have them. Now that the conversation is tilting towards election, really, electing good representatives and the rest of them, and of course we know that election is actually the biggest festival, really, of any democratic system. Let's talk about election. And let us look at some of the elections that we've had.
in the country. I know you have witnessed them quite a number, I mean, because of your age. But looking at them really, would you say the last election really is an improvement of what we've had in the past?
I mean, it was an improvement because if you can recollect very well, a lot of things really happened that one never expected. I mean, a particular political party, you see some people even losing their senatorial seat in their place, despite the fact that, but in those days it used to be. But a lot of people got involved in the last election. People really participated. What my barrister here is saying, that the youth really needs to come out and probably take up the reign if they can make use of the opportunity of their numbers. And in any democratic settings, you have to be participatory in it before you can say, okay, I'm going to become the party chairman, I'm going to contest as a councillor, it has its process. It must be well followed. It must be a party member, it must belong to a political party, it must participate. I mean, once I've been participating in all their activities, so that at the end of the day, if a decision is about to be made, you must get yourself involved. It is not in those days that you can just do some bamboozling. Yes, I'm happy that we are even going to touch June 12 tomorrow. I mean, Option A4 was there then, we had the opportunity. We were lining up. In 1993, we were lining up and we were, you'll be counted. There is no Ojo, it will be written. Okay, this particular person got for 1, 2, 3, it will be counted for open ballot system. So, I mean, if we should all have our result that, okay, at Okeareba, I mean, this particular party currently scored 32. You had 32, I had 32, I had 32. So we are going to get to the position center, you bring in something different. I mean, unfortunately, we never even had the idea of wanting to really do a kind of manipulation. Because, I mean, Abiola then was a generally accepted candidate. He went across the whole country that he had that, support and that love then. So the same thing can still be done, but we need to participate in everything. So I say, I don't like politics. I'm not a politician. Because your life is being determined by a politician, by somebody whom you think is a non-entity. I mean, if you allow a non-entity to get there, a non-entity will mess up your life. You see, that is what is really happening majorly. You cannot complain if you are not part of the system, you are not been following the system, and you are not ready to participate. You are either voting or be voted for. You are not interested. Whoever that gets there messes up your life, you just have to take it that way.
Definitely. Now, still talking about election, really. In the last election, we had an innovation, which was the introduction of technology in the voting system. Yes, while we still believe that, yes, there is quite a number of grounds that we need to cover as far as our election is concerned. But that innovation was really laudable. But do you think, were you impressed really with the outcome of the whole thing? The technology that was introduced and how it was eventually used to determine the outcome of the result?
Yeah, for me, I think it's an improvement. The development that can be worked on, though it was never put so effective like that. We still have to go back to the counting and everything. But I think with, especially when you are going,
when we also now recall what South Africa did just a few days ago, and how, their own collation center, you could see the results displayed digitally everywhere, live, and then
transport to central. So, we are going, we can still do better. It was introduced in the new electoral act, and it was test run in the last election. So we begin not to have some hiccups or the other. But I know that if we can improve on it, it will be a better form of getting actual results. I know it will start from that ward level, from each of the wards, down to the local government collation center, from local government to centralized to the states, from the state to transmit to the national. So it means that there should be materials that should be available in all these centers that are working effectively well. If system A is down in Abeokuta North, system B might be up in Abeokuta South. If system A come up, something will happen there, you will not know. So my own take on is that if you are not ready we should not extend it again. Because he almost brought a big rancor as to you not put results, you need it for National Assembly, you don't do for the presidential, you don't for the governorship. It brought a whole lot of issues. At the point, some people were accusing the opposition of saying that no, you were trying to attack the system, want to attack the whole thing. It could be, it's a terrible excuse for anybody. So if you are not ready, you should not put money and put everything to it. It was just a country like that before. It was just, but do you think our steps? A country like Nigeria, with the brains and the resources, both financial and human resources at our disposal, do you think it's not achievable? It's achievable. But Dominic, do you think we have a set of persons that want that thing to work right now? That's the question. It's a beautiful thing for me to stay in my house and vote if I'm accredited. I just go to my portal, the NF portal, put my name or any number that's given to me, bring my pictures and everything. I just don't even know where I live. If I don't go outside the sun, it's very easy for me to do that. But do we have people with that mindset to make us go to that extent? Look at, it is very easy for Nigeria, the youth. You know, I'm just going to talk about it because I see us as the future of this country right now. But right now, you see youth talking about how they do parliamentary system in the United Kingdom, the Congress. You will see you telling them somebody that will contest as a councilman in one town. Is in Nigeria, in South Africa. You tell him who is contesting in California, in Canada. Ask him who is contesting his big government chairman. Ask him. Though he doesn't have interest. He never needs a person sacrifice for those good things that we are saying now. They might not be alive right now. So we need people like that, me and you, that can live for this country. We will live one day. By nature, we all good by nature. But the question is, if we talk about Nigeria, your name will be mentioned. That's what you should take home.
It's a $1 billion question that every one of us really at every given point of our life we should continue to meditate and ask ourselves this question, and this should actually spur us to want to give in our best when is necessary for the good of the nation. Now, still talking about election, I mean, I said earlier on that you have witnessed several elections. I mean, on this table,
I have been involved.
Let us now talk about religion and ethnicity and the roles these actually played in our democracy and, of course, in our election. We all are we all are witnesses, really, of what these things played, these two major factors played in our last election, really. Do you think we are amassing our differences? Do you think we are amassing it very well to actually make our democracy flourish and get to that point that we all wanted to get to, that it would benefit all of us?
No, we are not. You see, the truth of the matter is, he's a Christian, I'm a Muslim, he's a clergyman, I won't vote for him. I mean, he's an Ijo man, he's an Yoruba man. I mean, I'm from Ijebu, he's from Sabo, he's from Abeokuta, and things. It's really still affecting. But because the system has been put in place that we just have to vote, and we must put somebody there. And now, the problem now will be, if somebody from a particular religion is not even contesting that particular post, that's a problem. Short one. If somebody from that tribe is not contesting the post we are talking about, that's short two. But apart from these two, indices that we are talking about, there is a crucial indices that really affect the democratic situation in Nigeria presently, which is money. We have really monetized our electoral process, which is quite very unfortunate. I mean, you see a lot of people that have brains, that can do very well, that can perform brilliantly, if given the opportunity to be in position of authority, but because they don't have the money. Take for instance somebody who just left university now, somebody that has been on his father's three-seater, chair for the past 10 years, no job, nothing. He has good ideas. A lot of things. If you see the kind of steam that were burning in him when he was in university, if you see, his thesis in the university, I mean, if this one should get to the marketplace, is going to really sell, is going to really change the narratives. But because in Nigeria, we all do worship money, and the electoral process too allows, the, money mongers to, take the big chunk of it. If you are going to contest for any political post, take for instance, either the House of Assembly, local government chairman, or the House of Rep or Senate, I mean, we are talking about millions. Purchasing the form, interest from that political party to, I mean, you are in Nigeria when, people are picking forms for the presidential ticket for 100 million in Nigeria. You see, we are making it to really affect us. We will not be able to achieve if we monetize, our democracy the way we are doing. Because some people that will give us good, governance, the people that has brains, that has good intentions, that has the fear of God to really want to come out, they won't come out because they don't have the money. Then electorates too are to be blamed, because the next thing is, okay, I'm contesting as the chairman of Abeokuta non-local government. They will be expecting me to be ready either to start bringing some money, give leaders money, give the voters money, a lot of things like that. So which means if you have good idea and you don't have the money, you cannot discharge something that you think can do better. And that is really affecting us. We have so much monetized our electoral process, we have so much monetized our democracy that is not making and allowing best and good candidates to really try or to really come out and say, okay, they want to do this. If you can do that, it's going to be better.
Now, Mr. White, don't you think the money issue he has talked about, it's like a big nail on the coffin of ambition of the youths, the young people, that you were talking about earlier? A young man who does not have the means and probably does not also have the connection with any godfather may actually not be able to achieve much, in the political space. Is that also not a challenge?
Yes, it used to be a challenge. It's no more a challenge. If you know what, look lie to ourselves. See, the youth of this country right now, we are far richer. My brother, we are far richer than all of our elders. The Nigeria of today.
Richer in ideas?
No, money-wise. I'm not saying ideas. We are not the ideas, the intellect. We are not able to meet it by experience. I'm talking about money. Nigerian youths are very, very rich. Do you know our problem? Our problem is, I'm shining, you must not shine. That's different. We have, look at our elders. Look at our elders. They have one thing. You see their supporters fighting, killing themselves. And you see the people inside the same situation, drinking, eating. You thought they were enemies, sworn enemies. They are not. They know it's interest. It's not permanent. You may be here today, we just get But all in our own plan. My friend is a lawyer. Everybody's talking about him. They're talking about me too. Why should I now do my friend as a lawyer? Everybody know. Why should I now want to go and contest? Nobody will know me. And look at the irony about it, the hyperbole about it is this. Look at when we play football matches in our various stadiums, even our localities, communities, our primary schools. If you notice that anytime the football gets damaged, on that same field, we will contribute our money for food to buy a new ball so we can play. If we can do that, what should stop us from saying, Dominic, okay, his versatile is good. Let us try Dominic, let us help him. Right, give us 1 million, that will give us 2 million, you give us 2 million, I know you have it. Just play as if you lost that money, just throw your eyes away. If you lose it, we'll go again. Everybody will try it again. Do you know at the point in our country, some youths were the ones sponsoring some of our elders? In some places in our country that I know, some youths were, everyone will say, this man is supposed to help this man. He can help to create our policies, our principles, and everything. So that one, don't say it again. We don't want to help ourselves, that's just the truth.
And now do we
now let me give you an instance. That played out majorly in Nigeria, Lagos State, Badebo. He's a youth. He was contesting as governor of Lagos State. Let's leave all that statement about ethnic, let's leave it. He's a youth. He's a figure. In that past election, he's one of those youths that took the book by the horn. Whether he lost or he won, no one knows about. He had that guts, governorship. Check the voters. Those that have voted for him will be elders, not the youths. So we need to start supporting ourselves. Let me help you grow your idea. Help me grow my idea. And together we will achieve a better country. Because there's no way. If somebody that we don't want happens to be there, we will all suffer. We will make policies laws down that we don't say, who is this person? It's very easy for you to say who is this person. And when you get to that exalted seat, you can't even face him again. He doesn't even know you. Even if he died, you might not even say him again. This is exhaustion. It's the principle of exhaustion. But if you are the one that have committed your own money, your 1 year, your 2 year, when you come back to your family for a year or for a 2 year or for Christmas or a New Year, you will remind him. You will tell him that I'm lost. It is from this place. So you won't even want to come home if it's not doing well. You will not want to come. So it is like that. We have to meet it in the perspective. Let the youth start helping other youths. Stop envy, leave it. Let us go together. Our elders are still going together. Friends of 1960s, no. 1915 friendship, till 2024. Let's do things together. You watch on TV, you see the president with Oshoba, we give friends. So we need that kind of commission and chivalry in our thinking as youth. So to say that youth are not having a life, we have like the elders. We have.
Now, quite instructive, and of course, to achieve these and some of the things that you have also said, quite a number of sensitization. I mean, even for any democracy to grow, there is need for continuous sensitization, really, so that the citizens can really know and be sensitized really on their duties, where they need to come in, how they need to make their leaders accountable, and the rest of them. But do you think we are having enough of these sensitizations? I mean, do we even get it at all? I mean, some persons would actually have expected that probably, okay, yes, we have government in our schools, but do we, in this government and civic, do we really make so much of emphasis on the role of citizens, really, in a thriving democracy?
I don't think we are doing enough in that area, and a lot of people are not, well educated on the importance of even participating in an election, or even not even well informed about what governance is all about. So that is why you see some people, even some elders too, will still say, I mean, I'm not a politician, or I don't like politics for anything. I don't want, I mean some even would show some hatred towards you because you are a politician. Sure. Even when you are even saying the truth. They never expected a politician to be truthful. They never expected a politician to be godly. They never expected a politician to be sincere. Yes. Which is not supposed to be. Yes. We need to change our psyche. Both the youth and the elders, we need to change our psyche and understand that we need to concentrate on this project called Nigeria. Leave everything away. There are some elders that are still doing very well. I mean, one governor, Oti, I'm sure you've heard of him. Alex Oti, go and see what Alex Oti is doing. Alex Oti is not a youth. I mean, he should be above his 50s or whatever, close to his 60s. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It is a thing of the mind. It is a will be there to say, okay, I really want to do this. It is a thing of, okay, I think there is going to be a time that I will be accountable for anything that I'm doing in terms of my actions. And if I think I'm doing it well now today, the stories will be told to my children unborn that, oh, when your father was there, when he had the opportunity, he was able to do this. But greed and corruption, I mean, are one of those indices too that are really affecting development of this country. And people are greedy. They are given a contract of, okay, go and, set up or probably build an healthcare facilities in a particular place that will benefit the people of that area. I mean, the money was embezzled. You never even do, or even you do something that is substandard. You understand what I'm saying? You see, if you can remove greed, insincerity, ungodliness, and corruption from the blood of Nigerians, I'm telling you, this country will be the best.
I quite agree with you, really, because over time, and then it's evident that these have really been the bane of our development. But let us also look at institutions, because in any democratic setting, we have institutions that are there that serve as guardrails for democracy and for democracy to grow. Let us look at how these institutions really that are key to democratic governance, how they are fed over time. judiciary. Let's start with judiciary. You are a learned, you are from the learned, how do you?
Hierarchy.
Okay, hierarchy. Now, how do you think? Do you think you have fared well and contributed meaningfully to the development of democracy?
Yes, I can see that institution is the only institution that has helped to change Nigerian democracy to what it should be. Look at in the incursions of the court processes, we have where courts have made pronouncements to save this country. I'm going to give you a typical example that most people don't talk about. There's a man that we all know, Right Honorable Rotimi. He was governor of Rivers State before he became minister and everything. You know, he never contested the main election. He only contested the primary election, where his name was substituted for mayor. And the court said, no, this is not democracy, this is not what should be practiced. Practice is anybody that has contested under the primary, that has won, is a party's candidate.
That should represent.
Arguments now came on board that, no, you did not contest now. The court told us that people contest, people vote for parties, not individual. That's a big one from the court. Give us an applaud. But change this narrative system for you. Take a look at when our president died, Richard Agla. There were a question of doctrine of necessity. We never had it. That death and the silent announcement could have ruined some countries. It could have been allowed me to talk about at that means. But the court was there to stand up. Look at our several election petitions. At the point in Nigeria, when you contest, even if you rig election, you just go about it. We know how many governors that the court of appeal brought back. Say, no, you are not person, go back and be the governor. We know. You know, this was why, before we do have a general election at the same time, but now some states have it above other states. It is the incursion of the courts, of the courts of judiciary. We should really appeal to the other system to please take care of the judicial officers very well, to make our message trial.
I wouldn't know whether our guest here would also support you, because I know that the court has also made some declarations that have, to some extent, almost
that are very volatile.
Set this country ablaze.
Yes.
Political decisions.
Yes. I like him. He has done very well
to defend his
constituency. No, he has done very well defending his constituency. Yes, judiciary on their own part, one can still give them kudos, but there are some, court injunctions, court pronouncements that nearly set the country ablaze. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, but everybody still needs to try, still needs to go back to the drawing board, see where you think you are failing, and do some adjustment so that we can continue to save the face of this country. I like the idea that you brought, that system. When systems are working, I'm telling you, a country will go very well. We have a failed system. Nearly all the systems in Nigeria is not functioning. We just spoke about the judiciary now. What of others? The educational system, the parliamentary system, the whatever system, the agricultural system, are they really, thriving up to the expectation of everybody? No. And the main problem has been that, there are no monitoring teams that will even monitor, when projects are being implemented. That is why you see some people just going away, going scot-free with anything, do anything, and that is the end. It's not supposed to be. The transportation system in America is so super. I was in Netherlands. The system was so, mean that if a train will leave or probably get to Den Haag by 12 p.m. and it take off by 12:05, it will take off that, it will get there at 12 p.m. and take off by 12:05. The systems are working perfectly. So if all the systems are working, I'm telling you, we don't even need to, start belaboring issues or probably arguing with ourselves. We'll just go and be, sleeping soundly and, close our eyes, and because all the systems are working.
I quite agree with you. I mean, if there is any system that has worked and contributed hugely to promoting democracy in Nigeria since 1999, it's the media.
Yes, I mean, I could recall that in 1993, when we were talking about this Hope 93 of a thing, this June 12 election that we are going to have tomorrow, I mean, I was here severally, nearly every week with late Abeokuta. You can see the time I've been analyzing. In 1993, Hope 93, we had a studio, Hope 93 studio in this station. And we've been saying a lot of things, we said a lot of things about that election. And I mean, go and check your archives, you will see those tapes. And you know, I mean, what a fantastic, person Abeokuta was. An orator, an intelligent person, may so continue to rest in peace. He was the anchor person then, and nearly every week I would visit this station, and then I was in Ijebu. I would come all the way from Ijebu to come and discuss Hope 93, in the Hope 93 studio.
So of course the media has always been there.
No, you have been very people have been trying. You have been on the
fourth estate of the railway.
You have been
talked about Hope 93. Which is June 12, yes. And of course, which tomorrow we are going to be commemorating. So we are going to be ending on that very note. But do you think really, and I want you to make it as short as possible because time is not on our side, do you think we have been able to learn enough lessons really from that June 12 experience that we've had that we had? Do you think we have been able to learn enough lessons?
Yes, we have, because I must confess to you, all those people that are in the political offices now, that are enjoying the democratic settings, had the opportunity based on the foundation that June 12 election laid.
Probably that's the only
it's not
the only thing I enjoy.
Yes, we are enjoying that, because even for June 12, I'm telling you, do you know that even the military, we are not even interested in coming back because they knew quite well that there was a kind of injustice on June 12. So they felt, let us just leave these people alone. Don't let us go and tamper with them, and probably they will tear us into pieces. That is what is keeping them in their barracks. I don't leave these people alone. You never did very well for them during June 12 election.
Let's take your thoughts.
I like my thoughts. I like the people they are enjoying today with the struggles of June 12. We always keep praying for the late Moshood Kashima Wabiola. Yeah. That's just it.
And of course, hopefully, yes, we hope that, it's not just going to be that we will be celebrating as far as June 12 is concerned. Even the common man on the road will be able to look at our democracy and say, oh, in June 12, 1993, somebody died for paid the supreme price, yes, really, for our democracy to thrive. And of course, they can have something tangible and meaningful also to celebrate about that. I must thank you sincerely for your time with us in the studio.
Thank you.
Looking at Nigeria's democracy, prospects, and challenges, I've been speaking with Honorable LANRE, JAJI, a public affairs analyst, and of course, Barrister HABEEB White, a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And of course, we also thank you for staying tuned to the People's Daily, OGTV, and of course, Focus. That's the size of the program. I say happy democracy to you. It's been 25 years, and we will continue to be hopeful that democracy, each and every one of us will enjoy all the good that are inherent, really, in democracy. Next week is going to be another time for another edition. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of the week.